Of like, I want it to look like this because we've been told it should look like this, it should move like this, and this is what's correct. But you might have a horse that looks like a jalopy, but it's functional, and it needs to stay looking like a jalopy because if you fix it, it won't be functional anymore. Sure, it'll look like the picture book, but it won't be functional for what you want to do with it.
Well, I mean, it's the story of my first really good quality thoroughbred. He was long. He had terrible feet, and yet he could jump a 6-foot fence. I never forced him, you know. I mean, and he was really limber. And you would never look at the horse, and if we had tried to change, you know, he was a little bit, I would say, caudally rotated in the hind, but so slightly because he didn't have a good digital cushion. If I had gone by the number to kind of jack him up like that, I mean, it just make him look, you know, with a big heel, I would have broken this horse. But first of all, he could have not been able to jump. And he lived till he was 29 years old and still doing stupid stuff.
And that goes to saying, you know, function before like how it looks. And I think...
And it was a less than perfect horse in looks. And yet he was an athlete. Like, I probably never want to have one like that again. I'm too old for that. I was just like, I want to die. But, you know, it really depends, you know. And then again, conformation is not always a standard for athletic capacities.
Nope.
It really depends.
I have seen lots of horses that look like they should be amazing and don't match up, and I have seen horses that you're like, are you kidding me? You're going to do that with that? And they surprise you. So,
well, I mean, if you take Monty, which is like turning 25 in May, and, you know, he's straight at the stifle. And we never
he's got a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but this horse is still ticking around, and he's been a jumper, and I don't jump anymore because, you know, he's too old. But you know, he's actually in relatively good shape given what was done with him prior to me, and I still ride him, and he's really rough on himself. So, you know, it really depends. And you have a horse that's absolutely beautiful. You should not have problems, have perfect feet.
And you have nothing but problems.
And nothing but problems. Yep. It's not even a genetic disorder. So, you know, again, there's a whole range of things. So anyway, so the little webinar she's going to present, it's again understanding all the fascia, what this range of motion, and you know, I'm going to talk about also on another webinar myself about tetrapodic motion as more from a
can I just say, because I don't think people understand what you mean by tetrapodic motion, so I'm just going to like break it down to the simplest of terms.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, your hips and your shoulders counter rotate.
Right.
Okay. Your limbs, when they counter rotate, come out, fall in, fall out, fall back out.
Right.
Right. They take a cycle of the spiral to come in and out before they move. It does for us. It does for horses.
And lizards.
When we refer to tetrapodic motion, it is that counter rotation of hips to shoulders. So barrel sway, and that limb that needs to come.
It does this.
Right?
So
that spiral of the limb.
Interpretative dancing. Come on.
Right?
Yes.
So one of the easiest ways to know if your horse has tetrapodic motion or is lateralized is to watch them walk away from you. If you have barrel that only sways in one direction, you're lateralized. If your barrel doesn't sway at all, and I'm not talking about fat, and I'm not talking about metabolic, I'm talking about hind limb loading, barrel sway out, hind limb loading, barrel sway out, then you don't have tetrapodal motion. If you have that, you're halfway to winning.
Yeah.